So we listen to our breath when we're in something like that, because this is new territory. Your body's going, excuse me, didn't you get the memo? We haven't done that. We don't do that. And so now our breath and our awareness is the subtle, oh, but yes, let's go see if we will. It's the invitation, but it's also the listening point. We did a lot. We did a lot, and it's very small kind of stuff, but it's really, really important. Let's find intense side stretch. So find your blocks. But it's these little motions, you know, I'm exploring hip mobility a lot these days. In 2017, I hit a shovel in a way that my left hip is having a conversation with me. She's been having a conversation with me ever since that event. Right foot forward, left foot back. And so I am going to keep an eye on her. Firm the thigh. Right hip pulls back, left hip goes forward, and cascade over. She has conversations. I try to listen, and then I invite her to do some stuff and to see what she says, right? It's the best that I can do. What will become of that little shoveling-ish incident? I don't know. Could be the one that I add to the stories that I am telling one day. Yeah. And here I am now getting a whatever because of that shoveling incident, you know? We don't know. Make a muscle at the front thigh, cascade over. Find that position where your breath allows a stretch through the gastroc of the left foot. Can you lift the toes of that back foot? Can you firm the left thigh? Can you lift the toes of the front foot? Can you firm both thighs? Can the right hip pull back? And can you do the back and forth thing that we kind of did earlier? Right hip back, left hip forward. We're doing shifting side to side, but now right hip back, left hip forward. And, you know, then left hip back, right hip forward. Does that make sense? Yes, you got it. Because we want to prepare for this next action. When we extend the spine, hands on block or mat, right hand to hip, the hips turn, then the belly turns, then the ribs and the chest turn, then the neck and the head might turn. Maybe the right arm reaches out, maybe it doesn't. We want that extension through our torso. Nice. Breathe. See that right arm down if it was lifted up. Stepping that right leg back, elevated downward dog, strong through the arms, push through the hands into the blocks or mat, wherever you are, firm the thighs. Find your breath. And the left foot goes forward. Right hip back. Find the weight bearing as even as you can be on both feet. Firm the thighs, cascade over. The experience that we just had a while ago where we were identifying squatting and hip motion and its influence on all those things that we're trying to do in these practices. That's what makes the therapeutic Ashtanga method unique. That's kind of the magic behind it, is that we are using it to evaluate our own selves, to determine, can we do a little bit more so that we can mobilize every major joint in the body. There's no accident. There's no like mistake. It is completely on purpose. When you're ready, extend the spine. Left hip pulls back. Right hip goes forward. Let's keep doing that. Left hip back, right forward, right hip back, left forward. And just notice where that comes from. There's a hip socket thing that I'm asking for, and it's those little muscles. If you're ever like it just feels like it won't go. It's the muscles that have been trained to be at that length. Right hand on the block or chair, left hand to hip, left hip goes back, belly to the left, ribs, chest to the left, neck, head. Breathe. We anchor through the feet and then we ask the motion to happen through the hips. And then gradually, because the hips did the motion, then the spine can begin to elongate and rotate somewhat, but we don't want the sacroiliac to be doing too much rotation. Breathing. And then release, left hand back down. Step the left foot back. Elevated downward dog. Hips to the right. Center, breathe. Hips to the left. Center. Bend the knees. Roll weight on the ball of the feet with the knees bent. Bend the knees as much as they will. You're rolling up on the ball of the feet and see if your bottom will drop back. And maybe you need to adjust your hands so that you don't feel like you're precariously going to fall over. With the knees bent, maybe walk the feet closer to the like super blocks. Now with your heels way up high, drop your bottom. Yep, and the heels are high. You're gonna drop the bottom as low as they want to. Yeah, and just kind of notice. Yeah, and notice, come on down whenever you're ready. Notice what in your own body, what made you go, whoa. Yeah. Does it feel creepy? Unstable? Catherine, when you do this, you're up on the ball of feet. And Jack, how does that feel? How does it feel when you do that? Yeah. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yes. And so here are the things, and notice the difference between how well your hips were able to go back towards your heels when the heels were up versus feet planted. It's significant for any one of us. The, when you're ready, come on down. Yes. But it's not nearly as stable as heels down because of the feet. That means that you need something up here. Yeah. Left leg out, right knee bend. Seated head to knee pose. Find your straps or find your right, left ankle. Strap down. Good. So we really have done a lot through the lower body, through the hips. I want you to pay attention to that. So Ms. Rita, as you go through your various practices, I want you to think about some of the things that we've done here. I'd like you to widen the legs more and maybe get the upper body out of it while you're doing that so that you can really focus your attention on the lower body. Does that make sense? That's just one of the hallmarks of our therapeutic yoga practices where we decide, okay, I'm going to focus on this for today. I'm going to pull back on the upper body, trying to do whatever. I'm going to focus on the lower body and I'm going to ask it to, maybe you're just going to pay more attention to it. That's it. You don't change anything. When you're ready, come on up. Right foot on the mat, give yourself about a hand distance, right hip back, right arm back, spine long. Rotation. Breathe. And when you're ready, release. Right leg goes out, left knee bends, drop the left thigh out to the side. Just explore each side. Find your strap, prime your hands to the shin or the strap, firm the thighs. So we're left thigh out to the side. So we're starting with seated head to knee pose first, and then we'll do spinal twist. You could do one or the other first. Just do the other one. And drop down. Yeah. Just the beautiful part is that she'll be leading it, so she'll tell us what's next. Just do your variation. Yep, that'll be Friday night, and then probably Saturday morning, and then Sunday. Yeah.
Friday morning, we're just talking, and then
Friday morning, all of the things that are here are meditations, pranayamas, type of activities. They're not asana. We're not doing asana. When you're ready, come on up for barrels work. Yes, and then on Friday morning for lunchtime, then we do our farm table adventure. Woo. Left arm back, left hip back. That's why I remembered, I was like, oh, I need to give a head count. So that's why I sent that email saying, all right, let me know. Deadline for registration on that one, so I'll have a head count. Thank you. I'll keep that in mind. We should be good. Right now we're looking at about maybe 20 right now, which, yeah, that's a normal day for Nydia Darby here. Setting up table. We got another set of chairs in the barn. I've got 10 over here. I've got 8 over there. I've got 8 in the hoodie house. So yeah. But I like hearing that. I always like to know. Thank you for offering. And then release. Bend both knees. Find your support if that honors you. Sitting on a blanket or block so that we could do bound angle. Spine long, let the thighs drop out. And let the hips lead this action. Can we draw thighs outward and hinge from the hips? What you thinking?
I'm getting better.
You are getting better on that side. Now go play with it with your blanket or the blocks. Catherine's up high. Keep thinking. One of the benefits that I appreciate about elevating myself is that now I can work through a little greater range of motion. So for those of us who are like, well, I want to try to do more, hello, that helps me get a little extra stretch that I can't go beyond the floor, Yeah. I like to focus on what my ankle's doing here. Sometimes I keep the feet together and sometimes I open them up like a page in a book. So. Yeah. And here you really can do a little bit of a right to the left, like the butterfly is going to try to take off. And I'm just shifting left to right a little bit. And then come back up. If we're elevated on something, bring the feet onto the mat. And then shift down.